Hey guys, it's Reeeafdaw here, and I've got another unused battle for you against Dude of the Smogon forums. So I'm trying out my new team at the moment. I think it's quite good. It's got some interesting Pokemon in it. So I lead off with Dave, and I go off with the stockpile. Just to, as us against an Arbsol, just want to boost my defences a bit. Know he's going to go for a superpower. Not expecting it to do too much damage, and I live it easily. So obviously Arbsol gets the attack and defense drop, which is great, because I now know the stockpile, because of the stockpile, superpower's not going to do anywhere near enough to damage me. So I do believe next I go for a Sword Stance to see who withdraws his Arbsol. He goes into a Miltank, and I personally love Miltank. Alright, I go for a Recovery instead. I thought, you know, I may as well get all my health back. I do like a bit of health. And those Stealth Rocks. I hate Stealth Rocks. I really need to have a rapid spinner on this team, but I just haven't put one in yet. So I go for a Sword Stance as he proceeds to Body Slam. Now, I'm not too sure why he was Body Slamming. I assume he's just trying to get the Power Hacks at me, which he inevitably does. But it doesn't seem to do any damage whatsoever. After leftovers, I don't take any damage from it, so bear in mind I'm already incredibly slow. Don't think it was really necessary to get the Power Hacks. He could have made much better plays. So I just continue to go for the Sword Stance. Now the setup for this Cradily, I basically bulk up with a Stockpile, then go mental with Rock Slide and Sword Stance. And it's pretty effective. You see, Rock Slide doesn't go for a one-hit kill, but bear in mind Cradily is not exactly particularly offensive. That does a hell of a lot of damage. Not many people expect Cradily to run Sword Stance. So after he's got the Power Hacks, I'm not sure why he continues to go for the Body Slam. It really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but I'm sure he had his reasons, probably most likely just going to Death Fodder as Miltank. So next he sends out as Milotic, and I thought, you know, I'm +2 special defense, I can easily take a Surf. And as I thought, easily took that Surf, easily. So after the leftovers, I do believe he just continues to go for Surf, trying to whittle me down a bit. I go for Rock Slide. No, that's going to do a fair amount of damage. Not going to one-hit it, but it's going to hurt quite a lot. And I lied. Okay, apparently it does one-hit it. Apparently rocks do kill giant snakes. So next he sends it his Hitmonchan, and my team's not particularly prepared for I think it was a Choice Scarfed Hitmonchan. It's just not something I come across recently. Well, it's just not something in general that I tend to come across. Let's go for the Rock Slide, and as he resists it, it's not a one-hit kill. But do believe that this next Ice Punch is a critical. Yeah, next Ice Punch was a critical, so I kind of messed Dave over a bit. I do believe that he could have survived a bit more. So I send in Gandalf. And he goes for an Ice Punch. Now I know Gandalf can survive this Ice Punch. Gandalf can easily survive it, and then miss. And I go for a Focus Blast, but I miss. Now I went for that Focus Blast because I know he has other Pokemon with him that can resist the Psychic. So he just goes for the Ice Punch, as obviously he's locked into Ice Punch. And I send in my arsehole. And it was quite funny because it says pointed stones stick into my arsehole. So that was quite sore. Now I assume he just assumed that I was going to switch, but I go for the Sword Stance here. I thought he was going to go for the Sword Stance, so either way it was a fairly safe play. Now I go for the Sucker Punch. Now I know that this can one hit, but he has a Focus Sash. Now I wasn't expecting Arbsol to have a Focus Sash, because most leads tend to run Sword Stance Life Orb, just so they can set up the easy Sword Stance. So my arsehole goes down, and I send in my Wangrowth. You know, it's not an awful lot this Arbsol can do to me. Even if he gets a critical or Psycho Cut, not an awful lot to do to me, as you just saw. Did absolutely nothing. This is my physical tank. My Wangrowth, a physical tank. Some of these sentences I never thought I'd say in my life. So, anyway, he sends in a Hitmonchan. Now I know he's going to go for the Ice Punch, as he does for the Ice Punch. So I'm just going to finish him off with an Earthquake. The Ice Punch doesn't do too much to me. Should have maybe gone for a Synthesis here. That probably would have been quite a good idea. Could have saved my Wangrowth. but unfortunately my wang growth gets cut off later, which is quite bad. And this Moltres, as soon as he sent out this Moltres, I thought I'd lost. I had absolutely nothing that can take this Moltres out. So I sent in Ruffles, my lovely Arcanine, and apparently it's quite surprising when you don't have an Arcanine with extreme speed, but hey ho. Anyway, he starts to set up the substitutes. Now, I've got a Hidden Power Ground and Flamethrower, so I'm a bit... not an awful lot that I can do at the moment, so I'm just going to try and get rid of this substitute with Flamethrower. And unfortunately, that's not going to be able to one-hit KO this substitute. So, I'm kind of in a bit of a jam at the moment. Not a huge amount that I can do. His Air Slash is going to hurt. So, but he's got a Life Orb Moltres, which kind of... no, he hasn't got a Life Orb Moltres, which surprised me. Not he has. Anyway, so Flamethrower is going to finally break the substitute. Now, what he should have done here is continue to set up the substitutes. Instead he went for the Air Slash. I'm not sure why he did. He should have continued to set up substitutes, as it would have been a 2-hit KO on the substitute. He could have wiped me out whilst retaining a substitute. But no, I just continued to Flamethrower it, trying to just do any amount of damage. I'm not doing any damage whatsoever with it. Kind of a futile gesture, but you know, Ruffles has done his business. Kind of stalled that Moltres a bit. So I do believe I go into my my lovely Gandalf, and I survive the Stealth Rocks. I didn't think I was going to, so I go for a Max Special, Stabbed Psychic, Choice Spect, and it doesn't one-hit it. But he goes for a substitute for a strange reason. Not too sure why he goes for the substitute. I would have just finished it off with Air Slash personally. Anyway, I finished the Moltres off with another Psychic. Can't believe that didn't one-hit it. As a Specs Max Special Attack Gandalf. But anyway, he sends in this Magus, and I know I can outspeed it. But he has a Scarf in this Magus. And I have never ever seen a Scarf in this Magus before. They're all Calm Mind Substitute, Nasty Plot Substitute. So I was like, at this time, I was just running through Smogon like, what? But my Alakazam should outspeed it. And I was like, this is ridiculous. I should have easily been able to outspeed this Miss Magus. And then it just dawned on me that he was Scarfed. So now I send in my Soviet Bird. Obviously, Soviet Bird being a Soviet, he can survive anything. Survive World War II, can survive a tiny ghost with a massive hat. So he goes for a Shadow Ball, and I'm like, I know, the Soviet Bird's my specially defensive wall. He can just take any amount of hits that this Miss Magus throws at me. There's nothing that this Miss Magus can do to take out my Soviet Bird. So he just continues to go for Shadow Ball, bearing in mind he's locked into he's locked into Shadow Ball. And I'm just going to go for the substitute, because I don't think I've set up a substitute before, so I'm just testing whether he can break it. And I do believe he does break it, which is kind of a bit misfortunate for me. I was hoping that I would survive. So, so I could stall him a lot easier. Does go for the Roost, because I know that he can't 1 or 2 hit KO me with a Shadow Ball. There's not anything that he can do, to be perfectly honest with you. He's locked into Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball can't do anything to me. He's kind of in a sticky situation here. So I go for the Ice Beam, knowing that, you know, this turn I'm not going to need to Roost. I'm going to have enough health left over from one Shadow Ball. And, but I know that I'm going to have to Roost this turn. So, I Roost. Get my Soviet Bird, put it to top tower, let it sit down, you know, you can rest Soviet Bird, it's alright, you're doing good. So, go for the I do believe I go for the Ice Beam again. Kind of surprised me if I didn't go for the Ice Beam again, because I've got plenty of health. I had plenty of health, but he decides to get the critical and the, you know, special defense drop. So I'm like, at this moment I was like, no, I've lost. Definitely lost. Cannot win this. Because of the special defense drop, he's got enough to take me out with the next hit. So I'm like, good game man, good game. 1 hit point. I survived with 1 hit point. I was just going mad. I really was. Started playing a tune on the guitar. Can't even play the guitar. Didn't even pick up the guitar. I sort of just looked at it and tried to play it in my head, and it didn't work. So he goes for Struggle. Brilliant move of his choice. You know, couldn't have gone for a better move. Gets a critical. Nearly kills me. But anyway, that was a really good game against Dude from the Smogon forums. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll be posting probably another video at the end of today.